Okay, hey guys, Kabani here. This is my first tutorial on Maya, and I'm making a medieval armor set. I just want to share my knowledge on how to make these with other people. Disclaimer: I'm not a professional. I'm still a student learning how to use it. I've been using Maya for like 2 months. I think 2 months now, and I feel confident enough to be able to share my knowledge with other people. So I've already created my project folder, my project, and I've already set it to it. I set it to, I think I named the file medieval. Yep, I named the helmet, and I'm going to be creating the whole set, like the helmet, chest, gauntlets, boots. But I don't know whether I'll create a chainmail like what they wear under, or I might just make a leather shirt or whatever. But I don't have a character who's going to wear this. I'm just creating it for creating sake. I like to just play model on my free time, aside from schoolwork and stuff. Okay, so let's create a new scene just to keep it fresh. Then save the new scene, and don't forget to save during your start. Don't ignore the other one. Actually, let's replace it. All the other one has is the image plane uploaded, but I wasn't recording when I uploaded the image plane and stuff, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, replace it. Yeah, doesn't matter. It's fine. Yeah, and I'm using a student version of Maya, so that notification pops up. View image plane, import image. I like to pull my image plane to the top of this black line right here, and then pull it back so that it doesn't interfere with my object. And layers, create a layer from selected. You can name it, you can rename it to image plane or whatever. And I click on this box right here until it turns R. When it turns R, you can't select it anymore. You can turn it off and turn it back on. But I do that just so that it doesn't interfere with my, my object when I'm moving it around and stuff. This is actually going to be a quick one. The helmet is the easiest part to do. That's why I began with it. And also it's because it's the head, and usually you start with the head when you're doing stuff for a character. Actually, some people prefer to start with the torso and then pull the other body parts out of it. But that aside, let's start. Create CV curve tools. Let me put it again. Create curve tools, CV curve tool. I took a little bit fast because that's how I speak. And if you don't understand because of my accent, just leave a comment or something, and I'll reply to what I said to clarify anything. And I use a lot of shortcuts, so I'll try to make it clear what shortcut I'm using and what it does. Okay, now let's begin. For the CV curve tool, you just create a curve and follow the object. Usually, some people who already model and stuff, as soon as they see like the way I'm starting, they don't know what's next, and they might go further. And this tutorial is for usually beginners or people who are new to or people who know how to use Maya, as in like don't know the tools and other stuff, but are just trying to learn how to model different assets in Maya. And this way can be used for multiple helmets. Not every helmet actually, because some helmets are more detailed and stuff. And this one is just a simple cone shaped helmet. Well, actually not cone shaped, but after creating the curve, I press Q to go to my move tool. Well, not my move tool, my select tool. And then I right click, hold control vertex, and then use the control vertex to modify the curve so that it follows the shape a little bit more. Sorry about that, I was reading a text message. Well, it wasn't text, it was, forget it, don't worry about it. Okay, let's just modify the curve a little. Oh, and also because of my accent, words with T in it, I tend to stress the T, so forgive me if you don't understand. But I like to keep my accent the way it is because it makes me me. Okay, now that we are done here, now the fun part starts. Oh, whatever it is. Oh, sorry, I hyped it up too much. Control vertex. This part doesn't look right for me. I know I'm a little bit picky about the little details. Okay. Object mode. I like to put this on a layer so it's easier to delete it when I'm done with it. Let's select surfaces, revolve, click on the box so you get an option box, and follow my options because this one makes your life easier. Y on the axis presets, pivot is on object. I only tell you the ones that are not changed, that I changed for myself. Segments, I changed it to 24. If you use 8, you get a boxy looking helmet. The more segments you have, the more cylindrical or smoother to look. And I work with multiples of 8 because 8 is a number where you start to get a circular shape, and then you keep on going from there to get a more circular shape until you go. But I usually work with 24, but I think today I might bump it up. I'm not sure. Let's bump it up to 32. Polygons, click on polygons over here and then click on quads. Whoops. Click on quads and then click on control point. If you don't use control point, you get end guns in the middle of your revolve, so make sure you have control point selected and revolve. You get a black one, don't worry about it, just go to mesh, display, reverse to reverse it for you, and delete history so that it's not attached to the curve anymore, just to show you what I mean for any beginner who doesn't understand. When you create a revolve from a curve, the curve is still attached to it. So let me select objects over here. Anything I do to the curve affects the revolved object too. So Z away from that. Oh, that's weird. Oh, damn! I didn't know about it. I missed a step, but it doesn't matter that much. You followed. Make sure your curves are snapped to the grid when you're creating it. To snap to grid, you press W. And before you move, you hold X and you move it to snap to the grid when you move. But that's just something you can do. It just makes sure everything is perfectly aligned. Select the let me select the object, edit, delete by type history. So now it's not attached to the curve anymore. I can do anything to the curve and it won't affect the object. We don't need the curve anymore, so delete it. And when you create a revolve, you see it creates a hole on both sides. It actually creates a hole on both sides. It's hard to see on one side because that was actually snapped to the grid. So to fix it, just click vertex mode, select all the vertices here. Usually the vertice number should be the number of segments you chose. If it's more than that, then that means that you selected another vertice that is not supposed to be selected. So just press 4 to see, and see right here. And control, drag to deselect it. It should be that number. Shift, right click, merge vertices to center. Now to create it to be 1 right there. To see this option, this box right here, like this, in the poly count, you go to display, heads up display, and then make sure this is checked to give you this view. And I like to keep it there because it makes me know, it gives me an idea of what I'm doing. So don't do it for the downside. I mean the bottom of the helmet too. Let's go to shaded mode to make it easy on our eyes. 32, yep, that's correct. Merge vertices to center. Then boom, we're good. And now here's the fun part. Shading, X-ray. Face mode. Drag one half of a face. Delete. Drag the bottom side. Oh, whoops! What the hell? Drag the bottom side of the face. Delete. Don't worry about the curve right now. This curve right now. We'll get it later. So edge mode. Get this edge. Control deselect the upper ones. Control E to extrude edge. W to move down. Move it down here. Don't worry about that yet. About the shape yet. Select this edge. Scale it in on this axis. Move it to fit. Don't worry about the side. Click on vertex. Vertex. Click on these vertices right here. Press W and click on the X or arrow. Don't move it, just click on the X arrow. Press and hold V, middle right click. And wow, it just made me a liar. Let's try again. W, click, V, middle right click, and click on one of these vertices and to align it perfectly to it. Hold up, let me me fix these vertices too. I'm a little bit OCD about my edges. I like to keep them close to straight. I know it's weird. I don't know how I do that. Okay, we got the shape. Yes, I can see it's boxy. It's not supposed to be like that, but don't worry about it. Actually, let's get the curve right now, just to, it's bugging me out a little. So just select this edge right here, deselect the upper ones, and then scale it, rotate it. It's supposed to follow the jawline. Then move it up. Actually, let's make sure the back side is clear. It's not too close here. This one depends on the helmet design actually. And then actually control delete this edge right here, and then actually, you know, since it's shaded, we can actually do this. Q. Actually, now that's too much work. Just select the whole ring, control deselect. Oh, whoops, deselect. Oh yeah, because it's curved now. Now it actually deselects the other side. So just click on this, shift, and click on the other side to select the ring, and then drag it up a little just to get that shape. Then drag it in. Actually, no, let's keep it like that. I usually do this late, but I'll do it now just to get it out of the way. Let's get this curve in right now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's. Oh, whoops, we didn't delete the faces properly. Face. Shift right click, delete. Okay, vertex. W to move up. I'm keeping my edges in a line because I'll mirror it later. And when you mirror, and you have to make sure that it mirrors to where the feathers vertice is. So you have to make sure all your vertices are aligned. So when it mirrors, it measures the vertices for you, and then there's no hole in between your your mirrored object. And okay, object mode now. Let me center the pivot. Modify center pivot. And modify center pivot. So do that in case you guys didn't hear me. I don't know why I spoke about it about that. And now let's get a visor in. And usually some people will create the visor separately and then try to add it to the helmet. But when you do that, you have to curve the visor to fit the helmet shape, and that is just tedious work. I do it the easy way. I extract the visor from the helmet. So just create a visor on the helmet, and you're done. So insert edge loop tool, shift. Actually, let me show you my settings so you, in case you know, reset settings. Actually, I use the default. Sometimes I switch it up to mod depending on what I'm doing. So I'm using the default right now. There's nothing special. And come here and shift right click. Do that. If you don't shift right click, this is what happens. You just add the edge loop and that's it. You don't always shift right click, but sometimes if you want to keep the curve going, if you shift right click, it will deform it as it adds the edge loop. That's giving you that little curve you want. Let's add another one here. Actually, you know what? Let's make it easier. Yeah, I'll make it easier. Don't add the edge loops. Yeah, skip the edge loop phase. Go to vertex mode and move. Make sure you don't drag and click on the vertex because we are not working on the other side now. Now we are working only on one side. And then click on the vertices. Don't drag, click. If you drag it to select the other vertex on the other side. So click and then get the inside shape, not the outside shape. Whoops. So I clicked on the vertex on the other side. Hold up. These vertices are like on this. Oh motherfucker. Wait, hold up. Why is it doing that? What is vertex over here? Okay. There we go. That was weird. Okay. Now that we got this one, let's get an inside for this. I'll add an edge loop for this one. I don't want to deform the shape I already have too much. And vertex. Whoops, Z, Q. Make sure you don't have the edge loop tool selected. Press Q to move away from it, or press W, anything to move away from it. Let's click on this. Click on this. I was using a perspective view just so I don't mistakenly click on the side, the edges on the other side. Let's see something. Okay, now we have to align to this edge right here. Okay, let's click on this right here, boy. Click on this bad boy. And you guys basically know what's this, so you can skip all this part, but this is just me aligning vertices to form the shape. There we go. Okay, let's make sure everything is correct. Let's make sure the backside is clean. Yep, it's this. Okay, and you see the curve in here, right here. This curve right here, we'll do it later. I'm not going to rush it right now, so click on the face. No, I have an idea. Object mode again. Insert edge loop and insert an edge loop right here. You don't have to shift click this one. I'm not going to shift click it because I just need an edge loop over there. Okay, let's check this side. Make sure our edges are not too close to each other. I don't like when they're too close. I don't know. This little edge right here is really bugging me, but I'm going to resist. No, fuck. Hold up. Let's fix it. It's really hitting me. Okay. Yeah, we got it. Okay, now let's go back to faces. Select the inner faces for this. Shift and hold while clicking on faces to keep selecting the faces you need, and then shift double click and to select the ring. Make sure you have the right things. Whoops, right thing selected. Got it. Okay, and now extract face. Object mode. Don't change any of these settings, just keep it like that. Edge mode. Select the outer edges, Control E. Thickness. While the thickness is selected, press Control and drag it. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong one. Offset, offset. Thickness does something, yeah, offset. Drag a little. Oh, that's too thick. Alright. Don't worry about it being too thick. That's what and then just you align it later, so it doesn't matter. Okay, you got it. Make sure everything is clean. Vertex mode. And we align everything that needs to be aligned. And again, you can skip this part because it's just me aligning vertices to vertices. Vertices to the object to make it match. Whoops. Okay, let's see. This is the inner line and this is the outer line. This is hold up. There's something wrong over here. This is the inner line and this is the outer line. So this is the faces that are going to be deleted. So why is the hold up? Oh, I know the problem. Don't worry about it. I know the problem. Yeah, I see. Just to make life easier right now, I'm going to go to face and then delete these faces since we don't need them. Okay, hold up. Let's delete it like this. Right. Hold on. Before I delete the faces, let me do this. Multi-cut. Okay, let's click on that place so it deselects the faces. Multi-cut it and then just drag so that it ends at the vertices perfectly. Then when you cut like this, and okay, now you're done. Now go back to faces, select the faces. These bad boys, and we don't need these edges right here. Whoops. So let's select the lower ones first. Oh, wait, why? Oh, because it's okay. Let's go. Delete these ones. We don't need these ones. Okay, vertex mode. Move a line to this, a line to this. Don't forget that the picture is in perspective, so I'll try to make it perfect. Actually, you know what? Just let's keep it the original shape, because we try to mess up with the this thing to create a fake this thing to make it look weird, because we are trying to follow a perspective image and to just cause some weird problems that we don't need. Okay, let's make sure everything is aligned nicely. Now we can add, oh wait, we didn't align the top side. But basically after you're done with this part, like aligning the vertices to follow the image, you can add extra edge loops. Whoops. Just delete vertex right here. You can add extra edge loops to create the shape. So now, whoops. Because if we added the edge loops while it was attached to this, we'll get edge loops that we don't need on the main object and just create more vertices to work with. So just insert your tool, shift, click, give it a curve, shift, click, give it a curve, shift, click, give it a curve. What do we need of that too? No, one here won't hit. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, let's add one here. Okay, now go to vertex mode, Q, so vertex mode, object mode, forward, so that we don't. You could click on this mouse button with a square on it to isolate the selection, but if you do that, it might remove the image plane too. So just make sure you have what you want selected. Now click and now just align it. We'll bevel some edges, so don't try and like get the perfect curves. Make sure your edges are not too close together, because if you bevel and edges are too close, it just gets problems. I mean, makes problems. This is me just aligning vertices to the image plane again. Drag, make sure everything is on point. Yes. I'm not sure about that. The lower part. Don't worry. Hold up. Let's make sure everything is okay. Everything's okay. Yep. Everything is okay. Let's object mode. I want to move this one out a little, but let's screw it. We'll not see this part of the face. Okay, now that we are done getting the visor where we want it to be, we select these vertices right here. These vertices right here. Wait, where are they? Oh yeah, I get it now. Select these vertices and these vertices. Press W, click on the X, and then V, middle right click on this right here. Huh, why is it curved? It's not supposed to be curved. It's supposed to be straight. Hold up, something ain't adding up. Are you? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. Don't know why it's doing that. Oh, sorry. Press B by mistake. Okay, I think I have to do it one by one, I guess. just to keep things straight. I'm doing that because we will duplicate the person. I mean, we'll mirror the object. So you know, mirror x minus, or actually x plus, and yeah. And because we made sure all the vertices were straight, it will perfectly merge the vertices without us having to go in and manually merge them. Nice. Now we can mirror this one too. Mirror polygon x minus. Actually, hold up. Let's make sure everything is perfectly aligned. So object mode, isolate the selection. It mirrors from the furthest vertices. So just make sure all your furthest vertices are in a perfect line. Right here should be in a perfect line. Okay, we have everything selected. Press R and scale it in, and to scale them to the same distance line. Then now we can mirror polygon x plus. There's no holes. Yep, we did it perfectly. Nice. Now let's turn off isolate selection, and this is why I didn't want to happen, and it actually happened. Okay, yeah, it happened. I didn't want to happen, but it happened. Okay, Z. I'm going to Z all the way back to before I did this thing. The mirror. So I'm going to click on both objects, combine. This is a temporary combine. So vertice, select all the vertices on this side. Deselect this one. Control to deselect, and then click. Press W. Press on this right here, and then V. Hold and align it to this. Oh no! What the hell are you doing? Why is it doing that? It's supposed to align it to this bad boy right here. Unless, oh, I think I know the problem. Yeah, I know the problem. Okay. Whoops. Okay, let's deselect this one instead, because that one is it's a cone, so it makes it harder for Maya to read it properly. So control, deselect this one, V, hold. Wow. Okay then, still creating that weird curve. Okay, let's do this. Okay, there we go. That was a problem. That was too outside. Okay, now let's select all these vertices right here. Okay, and let's do it in this view just to make sure we select everything nicely. Okay, everything is selected. Scale it in. Make sure everything is straight. Object mode. Mirror polygon x plus. Shift. I use shift right click to get this, by the way. And it changes depending on what you are. If you're in object mode, it changes. If you're in face mode, it changes. Mirror polygon to x. Oh, hey yo, what's the problem? Okay, I see the problem. Okay. Separate. Select everything. Yeah, shift right click and then separate. It will separate the two things that look different. Select everything. Modify. Center the pivot. Click on this one alone, and let's hope this works. Mirror polygon x plus. Okay, it worked. Good. Mirror polygon x plus. Huh. So this was a problem. What's causing the problem? Oh, I think I know what's causing the problem. Isolate the selection. Hold up. Let's check. Yep. That's it. That's the problem. Yeah. Vertex. This was a problem. We didn't align the backside. My fault. V. Align to this bad boy. Okay, now that should fix it. Main object mode. Mirror polygon x plus. Boom, we got it. And now we do the technically we are down the helmet over here, but then everything is too flat. So shift right click, click on the object, shift right click, extrude, or you could press Ctrl E for extrude. Thickness, click on the thickness and then hold Control and middle mouse drag slowly. slowly. Okay, that gives me what I need. Don't like this curvature right here. Why is that curvature over there? Let's check. There's no curvature on this side, but then why is it on this side? Oh, I think I know. Oh, it doesn't matter actually. Yeah, it doesn't matter. That curvature doesn't matter. Okay, we got a thickness we need, or we want. Hello, how you doing? There's a hole back here. Yeah, that means we didn't align the vertices properly back here, but it doesn't matter. If you guys aligned your vertices properly, you don't have to do this. But in case you didn't do it properly, go to vertex mode, shift right click. Actually, let's merge them to center so that. Then shift right click, merge vertices, merge to center. Then usually I'll highlight them all, but then usually when you do that, Maya messes up a little. So alright, I'll do it manually. I know it's tedious, but okay, let's go to object mode, isolate the selection, vertex mode. Oh, by the way, I was pressing G to repeat last command, but sometimes your last command messes up, so I just do this again. Press G to repeat last command. If you want to know what your last command is, you just go to here to say repeat merge to center. It will tell you right here what your last command was. But because I selected selection, I didn't know if it changed my last command or not, so that's why I didn't do it again. Whoops. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, wait, ouch. Okay, object mode. Okay, that should fix everything. This is the place. This will be the right place to save if you haven't saved yet. Actually, I shouldn't have even gone this long without saving. That's actually bad. Wow. Just press Command S. Whoops. Oh, if you mistakenly press S and you get this red thing here, it means you're in animation mode where you create a keyframe by mistake. Oops, sorry about that. That's my alarm. Press Edit. If you create a keyframe by mistake in this sense, right, just go to Edit, Keys, and then Delete Keys to delete the keyframe. Yeah, Command. Oh, I pressed Alt instead of Command S. That's why I did that. I'm used to working on my MacBook. That's why. Okay, I'm in Control S. So Command. Okay, now that we got this, over here, usually I bevel the edges because I like to work in one mode. But if you want, you could use this smooth. This is what smooth preview looks like right now. But for people who are using the smooth, I'll show bevel will work for you too. But if you use a smooth, you have to do this. But hold up, what's this? Okay, these faces I don't need to be here. Let's make sure everything is okay. This edge is aligned to this edge. That's why. This edge is aligned to this edge. No, I'll just edge and move it back. Let's move it on this, on the world. Yep. Now move it back. Move this on the world too. Now move it back. It doesn't matter. These faces will not be seen, so it doesn't matter that much what happens to them. Okay, now that I have everything saved, I'm going to go to object mode and highlight everything, all the objects. Shift right click, clean up. I have these are my cleanup settings. Select matching polygons. Don't use cleanup matching polygons, or Maya will mess you up. Four-sided faces is not needed because that's what we want. Quads are what we want. Faces with more than 4 side concave faces, faces with holes. Non-planar faces is obvious to see, so I don't click it. Laminar faces, manifold geometry and stuff. If you don't understand what these things are, I don't want to explain, but because I don't go into details in this video, I just want this video to be quick. But if you don't understand, just tell me now. Actually, you can do some research on them and it will tell you. The Autodesk website will even tell you. Okay, so apply, and if nothing is selected, it means there's no problem. If something is selected, it means there's a problem. Okay, now that we are done here, let's give the head, the helmet, some thickness. Extrude, object mode and extrude, and then thickness. Then control middle click drag slowly. Drag it inside, not outside. If you drag it outside, it will enter the visor. And we don't want that. Okay. Then object mode, select mesh display, reverse, and boom, we got it. But for those over here, some people can stop right here if you are working in low poly or whatever. But just if you want to make sure like your edges look good, because nothing in the world is actually 90 degrees, just select all the edges, the outside edges, make sure everything is selected, and bevel, shift right click, bevel, whoops, bevel, and bevel in 2 segments, because that's like that's the natural way. Like naturally, I don't know, 2 segments works every time perfectly. 1 segment is basically just adding an edge loop. Okay, and then you do that, and then object mode. Now it makes your object, like your visor, catch lights properly and everything. And if you don't like this curve shape right here, like this edge curve, you want it to perfectly straight, you can fix it yourself if you want. But I like it. I don't know why I like it, but I just like it there. Now let's create this. See how the cone goes up, this shape right here, this shape right here. If you want to create that shape, go to edge, select this whole edge loop. It stops right here because it's, it creates a triangle up here, and bevel it 2 segments. Oh, whoops, not 3. Then give it some space, some breathing room. Go to object mode, and you see the it will pop out right there. And if you want to, if you go into smooth mode and press object mode, oops. Smooth mode actually will keep it, you can keep it right there. And let's smooth this one too. And 3 is to preview the smooth, by the way. I'm using the 3 key to preview smooth. I'm actually not smoother, it's just the 3 key. And if it's smoother, you get this. And I like it. I like the shape here because it makes the nose, the person's nose, it presses into the person's cheeks, whoever is wearing it in the person's cheeks, and then the nose comes out and the mouth comes out. I don't know, it just gives it that more of a realistic. I feel like it gives me a realistic feel to it. Because when it's straight and comes down, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it was made for the person's face or something. Okay, I usually don't like to use a smooth. I like to just use bevels and then I'm done. But I like how it looks with the smooth. It actually looks like it looks good. Yeah, I'm not going to use the word actually thought of first. So yeah, let's smooth everything. Object, shift right click, smooth. I use a option box, exponential linear division level 1. Make sure it's at 1. I put at 1. If you do at 2 or whatever, you do it 1 by 1 because it makes it easier to see like the different levels that you want to do. I do it 1, then there we go, boom. Sexy looking helmet. Now let's create the rivets. Oh, and also if you have to name everything, I'll name this visor and then helmet. But if you are working in one mode, as in you don't need to use the smooth, or your instructor says don't use the smooth, just stop with the bevel parts. And if for the beveling, don't forget to bevel the helmet part. So if you are not using smooth, hold on, let's Z back to where we smoothed. If you are beveling, don't forget to bevel this part, like this inside part, because you need, even though it won't be seen, it's actually good to bevel it, for creative value. So yeah, whoops. Let's smooth everything again. Okay, Command S, Control S to save, just so we don't lose any information. And let's create the rivets. Rivets are actually easy to create. You don't have to go into too much details with them, because most of the time, depending on who you're working for or the project, some people actually tell you like, oh, create the holes for the rivets, like where the rivets enter and all that stuff. But others don't care that much, because rivets are made to cover the holes. Even though they go into a hole, the mushroom head is made so that it covers the hole, and because when you see a hole on a helmet or something that the rivet is going inside, it makes it not look cool. That's why they create the mushroom heads for rivets and stuff and bolts, so that they cover the holes that they are going into, and it gives it that nice design value. So usually creating rivets, you don't need to create the holes for the rivets. Depends on the object you are doing it for. So we are just going to create one rivet and just, you know, duplicate it across everything. Don't worry about how big it is at the beginning. Face, select half of the faces, delete, edge, select this edge rank right here, shift right click or control E to extrude the edges, shift right click again, merge, collapse, merge edges to center to do this. But if you don't want that, Z, press R after you extrude and then extrude it like this, and G to repeat last command. Whoops, actually no, the last command was merge to center, so extrude again, R again, and then move it like this. So let's do this, and then G to repeat last command, which will be the extrude and merge, collapse, merge to center. Vertex, select the vertex right here, hold command, but there's no command on. Okay, I think it's auto work. Nope. So, I'm used to using my MacBook, and on Mac, if you click command, whatever is it? Wait, that's weird. Is it tab? Nope. On the MacBook, when you click command and you hold right click, it allows you to move from this thing. Is it control? Okay, oh, it's control. Oh wow. Okay, control works too. Control right click and two faces. Wow. Oh, whoops. I had a moment right there. Faces, two faces, and control E, W, pull out. Boom. If you like, you can bevel your rivets for, you know, for the distance, for the creative value. I like to bevel them just for the. But if you are working on a low poly and stuff, you don't need to do all this. But like you don't even need to add the extrusion right here, like this extrusion back here. But I like to add it just because it makes me feel. I don't know. It just makes me feel comfortable, I guess. Whoops. Bevel edge, 2 segments. Zoom in to see the difference. Yeah, creating. Oh wait, hold up. Yeah, this is a problem too. Because this is a triangle up here, it won't select the whole ring, so you have to shift select the other side too. Yeah, usually selecting edges doesn't select the whole ring if a triangle is in between, so yeah, don't forget to do that. I forget sometimes too. And give it some breathing room, depending on how smooth you want your bevel to go. If you want to go higher than 1, you can't go higher than 1 on my. You have to actually type it in. So if I type in like 3, to go higher than 1, but 3 is just going too far. Okay, let's go object mode. Now you see it gives that smooth. Let's be like, okay, and let's go into 5 mode. Oh, it's already in 5 mode. Oh yeah, shaded. I forgot to say shaded mode. Okay, W, pull this way. R to scale it. Okay. Just get it. Whoops. I'll just scale it down to that place. Oh, what the hell is going on? Okay, don't. I think my computer is bugging out a little. Yeah, our rivet is inside. Sorry for that. Pull it out. Because you are going to duplicate the rivets, in order, if you are working for someone or you are doing a project for school or whatever, and the person requires you to name the parts, to make your life easier, name the rivets before you duplicate. Because when you duplicate, Maya will name the duplicates as rivet 1, rivet 2, rivet 3. So Maya renames it for you, and then it makes it easier. And also, when I was doing this, like once, like on my first try, I made a mistake of putting the rivets on one side, deleting one side, and then duplicating it to the other side. So the rivets, like combining everything, and then duplicating, and the rivets show up in a separate after that. It will work well. It's actually a good idea. But the problem is that when you combine stuff, Maya removes all the names for everything. So if you've named the parts, it will remove all the names and set it back to the poly stuff that you want. And it's not good to have poly as your name for stuff. So actually, let's rename stuff right here. Double click and name a visor. Then double click and name a helmet. Actually, I'll name it frame because I'll group them later. So okay, now let's get a rivet in position. Okay, one is here, one is here. I'll just, and with a rivets you can just have your creative licenses, like can do your own. I prefer to do a little bit of creativity with it. You can skip the video here because this is me basically positioning the rivets. Technically we are done here. Actually, let's see what happens if I smooth the rivet. Nah, to just create extra edge information that we don't need. Doesn't matter. It's not that important. Okay, let's make sure it's nicely. Yeah, I take my time with applying with adding my rivets because I don't know, I just like it to be perfectly aligned. So let's move it this way. Let's move it in the world. Yeah, don't mess up here. Yeah. Actually, let's make sure it's on the right side. Yeah, it's supposed to be on this side, isn't it? Yeah, we got it. It's a curved surface, so it goes up. It's not perfectly straight. Okay, and then I'm good. And then let's see if this works. Shift D, Shift D, Shift D, Shift. Oh, okay, Shift D seems to be going the other way, but it doesn't matter. Let's just Shift D duplicates with the transform information you did to the duplicate. That's why, but it's only it's good sometimes if you plan it properly. But I didn't plan it properly on this one, so it doesn't matter. If you want to follow along, you can follow along. This is me. I'm not following the reference like over here because you know this is just me. And also I don't need to create a rivet because I'll go into ZBrush and to do a normal bake. But I'm creating a rivet for guys who are like who don't use ZBrush as an external software to add more detail to an object. Because if I do a normal bake, it will give me, I can use a rivet. I can make the rivets a normal bake instead of having to model each of them, because it will just create extra information on the assets. But that's for if you don't have to worry about it if you are creating it for yourself or something. But it depends on the client, and this is me doing it for myself. So I'm just, but you guys get an idea. Just place your rivets, duplicate, and because we named it, the Maya is naming each rivet by the number of duplicates it is. Let's add the ones on the right side. So Control D. Pull it out. F to zoom into your selection. W to pull up. Pull back in. W to pull up. Let me save right here, because trust me, mine has crashed randomly on me when I get to like the final phase start, and I ain't taking my chances anymore. So a couple of crashes, you learn your lesson. It's like the first few crashes is Maya just showing you who's the boss. Like one day I actually finished my first helmet without saving ever. Like I was happy, sat on my chair and everything, and as soon as I clicked close application, it crashed over there. I don't know why. I was waiting to, like, you see where you close and then it does like, do you want to save before you close and stuff. But when I click close, instead of asking me that, it crashed while it was closing, and then I lost my whole work. So, and since then I make sure I save every time I can. I'm taking my chances anymore. How many rivets are there? 2 and 1. Okay, Control D, pull down. Wait, did we? Yeah, we duplicated. It didn't look like we duplicated, that's why. Okay, let's pull down the hair here. Control D, pull up. Okay, let's zoom into this bad boy. that out. Zoom in to make sure it's aligned nicely. Okay, see if you're losing one rivet because it's in there. Wait, hold up, I don't like this. Oops. Okay, that's nice. That looks nice. That's it. Just over here. Turn it around. Move it out. Pull it out. Move it up. Move it in. And I don't know. Some people I've seen people ask this question before. They ask if you build your assets in like parts, will it be acceptable in the game engine and stuff? Yeah, it will be actually. Just have to group it properly. Modify center pivot so that it centers pivot for everything. Because you guys can go ahead and add the rivets later. I'll add the rivets. I'll cut the part out where I add the rivets and everything. But just to teach you the grouping, actually I'll do it after I'm done with everything, because so that it groups all the new rivets I add. So yeah, I'll catch you guys after I'm done with the rivets and everything. Okay guys, this is it. Oh whoops, that's funny, I didn't see this problem. Well, this is the final shit. I'm not going to put the rivets on the back side. If you can do a 360 rivet placements over here, but I'm not going to do that because I don't know, I don't think there are rivets there. And I can see I added 2 extra rivets that are not supposed to be added. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I just saw. Wow, I was so focused on the work there. Actually, it doesn't matter. These rivets seems to be down here instead. They were placeholders and I forgot to move them. Sorry about that. So I'm going to group them now, and then we'll be done with this video. It actually went longer than I actually expected it to be, but I don't think an hour is that bad. I had to explain some. Usually when I'm not used to talking while working. I usually work with music in the background. This is my first tutorial, so if you have any tips on how I can improve my tutorials or make them more, I don't know, interesting, or if I'm talking too fast for you to understand, you know, just tell me. I don't mind. I know I have an accent and actually don't care about it. I have no problem with it, but if other people are having problems understanding me, I have no problem explaining what I said. You can type it out and everything, I have no problem. So yeah, Command S, save. If you want to group your stuff, you know, select everything. Click on this right here to open your outliner. Press Control G to group everything for you. While you are working, you create groups unknowingly, so just, you know, delete those groups that don't work. Make sure you don't delete anything like that. You see that? Yeah, you see when I delete this, it creates green thingy. It means that it still has history attached. So I just click on this group, edit, delete by type, delete history, and to remove that history from there. And yeah, we're basically down here. What's this? Oh, this was the revolve, the curve. Okay, and yeah, I keep saying and yeah. You double click on your group to rename it. We group stuff so that when we move it into a scene or something, it's easier to find. Maya named all the rivets for me because I just had to name one rivet and then the duplicates were named. So this is our helmet, guys, and we can put it on a character or anything. The only thing will be that depending on the character's jawline or character's head size or everything, you might have to scale it out. But you know, scaling it should be easy. Let's check. I'll try it out. This won't work properly because they are different objects and they have different. You could scale it like if the character's head is this size for some reason. Shit. Z. Let's select the object. Delete history. Edit. Delete by type. You know, history. Modify. Center pivot. It centers the pivot for each of them. And then modify freeze transformations. And yeah, so this is our helmet, guys. I'll make the image plane available in the description. If it's not, please I'll make sure I remember. And so thank you for watching, and this is my first tutorial, so don't forget to give me any tips, and any like is appreciated, any comment is appreciated. If there is criticism or anything, I'm ready for it, but I can't make the file available for download because I'm using a student version of Maya, and you have some restrictions because you don't have a natural license. So I'm still in school, college, learning how to game art, and we just went in like a intermediate level of modeling, and so I feel very confident now. That's why I'm making tutorials to help other people out. Some people can't afford college and stuff, so they rely on YouTube to learn how to model, and I respect that. So I'm just here giving out to the community, I guess. And so thank you for watching, and have a great day or night, whatever time it is, and enjoy life. Kobani out.